we are in New York City, and know how we in New York City and everybody always thinks that they have to have their own opinion on something. Yeah, it's kind of weird because there's so much diversity. I'm basically gonna be asking if men and women are equal, and I'm not really sure what I'm gonna get. If I'm gonna get some crazy ass feminist that's gonna be walking up to me and telling me, "Oh, women are definitely better than men at all times." Like, listen, I don't know how much stress you put on your own body, but I think we're pretty equal. But there's probably some other people out here that think kind of differently. As this one guy in the back here just jogs, and I'm just watching him for no reason. I just like his hat, and it's really drawing my attention. Hopefully this goes well, and I don't get beaten up by somebody, because I'm pretty scrawny. My cameraman will defend me. So basically, I'm just gonna go around asking people if they think men and women are equal. What's your take on that?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd say so, 100%.
Oh, you think so?
I guess I would say men and women, they definitely should be equal.
You have any reasons as to why you would think so? Because I feel like a lot of people would think that women have like a higher standard than men at the moment, and especially like in 2021, whereas we have a lot of feminists who really just believe that. And no disrespect to them, I feel like women and men equality is definitely something we all should fight for.
I mean, obviously, women are not treated equally as men.
Yeah.
Definitely, and it's a structural problem.
Women are probably...
No.
No?
No? No.
No?
They're the same. We're the same.
Okay.
Really.
They definitely should be equal as far as in work and academics and relationship-wise. There should be some level of balance or a standard. And I think those standards, the standards for being equal in a relationship versus being equal in the workplace are going to be different, right? But I don't know, this is sort of an impossible question.
Yeah.
I think men and women are equal just in creation. However, how we've been treated in society doesn't reflect that equality.
And there are institutional things that could be done to fix it, but they're not being done at all. America is one of the worst places in that
right.
respect.
Yeah, it's actually interesting you brought up relationships, because we always talk about, especially in relationships, it's like you always got to have communication in order to have that type of balance between a man and a woman. But at the same time, it's like usually we always have who's wearing the pants in the relationship, in this relationship, and it's usually referring to is it the man or is it the woman? And is that really how we're saying that? Is that an equal relationship, or is that really saying that there's a higher dominance between them?
Yeah, it's a balancing thing, but I think that women have so much more going against them. And so when they are pushing and just doing their thing, as men, we have so much more privilege and opportunity that we're not working against.
But I guess it's an aspirational statement to say that women and men are equal. They ought to be treated equally. Is what I mean. And they're capable of the equally good things and incarnate equally good qualities. So yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely going to be person to person, but I think it's fascinating. I mean I do a lot of research and writing on relationships and men and women and this whole idea, and so I guess I'm just gonna meet up with my friend, so I don't have that much time.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm doing a video interview. Would you like to be part of it real quick? It's not going to be too long. No. It's
Sorry, fellas. No,
2 minutes? All right, man.
But how does that make women better?
Because we're not at the same starting point. So for us, while I think that, we could be considered equal, I think that you guys are stronger.
I don't think our starting places are equal, but I
that's
think...
what I'm saying, but because you're working at
that
that
doesn't mean that
deficit, that would make you better in the long run,
I don't think so.
Obviously, I don't think that there are a biological difference between men and women because I think gender is mental.
Our starting points are different. I agree
Yeah.
with that. And we can work the same amount and we have the same capabilities of doing the same things. Does that make
Absolutely.
sense?
Yeah.
But I never felt like I had to work harder because I was a woman.
Right.
I think some women do. I'm a
Yeah.
white woman. It's very different from a colored woman who
Yeah.
is working from an even different place. And I think that there are separate women's issues in that way as well. But
Yeah. And
on the
opportunities
whole,
as well.
I work just as hard as my male colleagues do, and I'm pretty lucky in that way. But I think just because you start in a different place doesn't mean that you're inherently better than someone else.
Can you explain more by what you mean that's gender is mental? Because this is the first time I'm actually hearing this. Can you explain it more?
Yeah, I think that gender is something we experience in our brains. Like I think like society has pressured us to perform gender for the opposite sex usually, and that's not necessarily how things work because not everybody is going to want to perform for the opposite sex and not everybody is going to want to perform at all.
Well, let me actually like frame it to you like this. Do you think men can actually do more than women?
Physically.
As far as physically or
Physically,
Biologically,
mentally?
Yeah. I think biologically men are definitely at a.
You think we could just plop out a baby as well?
I meant physical strength.
Yeah, I don't think I want to be plopping out a baby either anytime soon. Yeah, that seems like stress.
hours of stress and months of stress.
Also, like women having like long hair and having to like be a part of like the male gaze, like that's
Right.
performing femininity for men, whereas like some women who identify as women like don't really fit into that.
Every gender should just, has their differences, Like, we're better in some things, while you guys are definitely better in other things. So you think this is all just basically based on, how society views men and women?
Yeah.
And, like, that's really what it spans off of. I feel like we're in such a time now, whereas, like, in 2021, we're just like, oh, men and women are so, so much different. Women are better or men are better, and everybody has, like,
Yeah,
their...
feminists who say that, who like go that way and they say that like, oh, women, like men are trash. That's fucking.
Yeah, it's stupid. It's stupid. I don't adhere to that at all.
No, I don't think anybody should.
Well, as you said, like a gender is more of a mental state, and that you feel like because of society we view men and women as like biologically different. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, I think it's just constructed.
Okay, thank you so much. By the way, arriba.
Never again.
Never
We're
again.
not doing that again.
Never again. That probably just offended so many people.
Yeah. To anyone that's watching this that is even remotely Hispanic, we're sorry.
Dog, what's up? How you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fine. I'm just out here in the 35-degree weather of New York City, and it's super windy, so my hands are freezing. But I'm going around as in New York, and I'm asking people if men and women are equal, especially now in 2021, where there is a lot of stuff you can get canceled for, and if you say the wrong thing, you're probably gone from this earth. You're deleted, and your social media could probably be canceled as well. How do you feel, and what's your take on it?
Well, I guess to the first question, I wouldn't say men and women are equal. And I think that, a lot of the things that we see every day, I think we know what I'm referencing. That all comes from that,
Who do you think is like definitely more dominant than the other in gender-wise?
Well, yeah, I would say men for sure are
Okay.
dominant. I don't know. If I can think of examples, I mean, I actually just left a job because I was like, complaining about some dude, like how he was treating the women that he worked with.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know, like I basically I told my boss about it. That wasn't like the only thing that was making me leave, obviously, but that's what it ended up like culminating as. And I don't know, without going into too much detail, I basically just like told him everything that was making me uncomfortable. He would sometimes touch the girls weirdly, talk to them weirdly, and I noticed that he wouldn't really do that with the other people that he worked with. I don't know, it just didn't feel right me not saying anything about it.
So you think like men can get away with certain things that women just cannot get away with?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
By the way, I'm super sorry that that actually you had to go through something like that. Sounds awful. Sounds
Well, yeah.
terrible.
I mean, look, it was a lot, and like I said, wasn't just that, a lot of other things, but I was on my way out anyway. But, like I said, that was a big part of it. And, when I see like that, there's a line, I think of basic human respect and
Yeah, that's right.
decency. I don't know, if you see that consistently being crossed, you gotta say something.
Yeah, I definitely think so. I think you have like a right way of thinking, and you gave us the right answer in my opinion. I think you gave us the right answer in my opinion.
Yeah,
I feel like
it's a game show.
no, it's not a game show, but that's my personal opinion. Somebody's probably gonna tell me I'm probably a person for saying that. Yeah, I feel like men definitely get away with more things than women, and especially in that case, which you brought up your personal experience, and that's kind of sickening to think that people can do something like that and just not get repercussions for that type of thing. Thank you for sharing that, by the way.
Yeah.
I appreciate you taking the time to stop off in this windy time. Thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your day,
Yeah,
man.
you too.
Yeah.
Have a good one, bro.
You too.
Take care.
Yeehaw! Excuse me, sir. You think men and women are equal? I'm gonna fall. I'm not tall. I'm 5'10". 5'10" for the ladies, 5'8" in regular height. 5'10", you just know. I barely made it.